Hello, welcome back to the third installment of how to dude up your Stratomatic PC game. The first one we did just general ways to make changes. The second one was ballparks, and today is going to be the player pictures or baseball cards, which is how generally I do the pictures. So obviously the picture can be of anything. Suffering from a cold, so bear with me. I will try to pause for coughs as necessary, but was wanting to get this up to finish the trilogy. Number one, like I've said in the other videos, I'm not an expert, so I'm just sharing what I've learned, and I hope that's helpful. Secondly, this is not terribly intuitive. As I've also said in other videos, Stratomatic is a bit outdated when it comes to this kind of thing. Digital Diamond, Action PC, baseball, and even replay, they all are a bit more intuitive on how to do these kind of things. But like I've also said, have a lot of money invested in Strat. If you like Strat, this is kind of a must-have, and so I've had to figure it out and, again, get it to where I like it, and so just sharing that and hope it's helpful. So what we're going to work on is the 1992. If you hit on the league and then the team and then hit players, if there's any pictures, you'll see them down here in the lower right-hand corner. And so as you can see, you just got the red pitcher for pitchers and the blue batter for batters. So we will see if we can get us some 1992 pictures. So where I get my batches is where I start, and then I'll show you how to make changes if you want to update some or whatever, is Stratomatic. So I'll put the link in the description. It's lindur.tumblr. This can be a little tricky to navigate, at least it was for me. And also, I read somewhere that this may or may not be around for a while. I know that I read somewhere that they were looking for someplace else to host these, so I actually downloaded every season just in case that happened, and I bought something in the future and needed it. So again, when you go to the link I send you, this is where it'll start, and then where the pictures are is down at January 2016. So this may not have seasons past that. I'm not for sure. I'm pretty sure that it might. But anyway, so you hit that link. Now, one thing you want to be aware of is that sometimes it'll try to trick you and want you to sign up for this, and to my knowledge, you don't have to. So, but it looks like you have to if you want to download things. So just be aware that it's trying to trick you to sign up. So you can see I'm not logged in. So, but anyway, you go here, and then these are ballparks. Now, I haven't looked at these. I assume they're ballparks, so they may be some good ballpark options here if you want to check that out. But here you'll see you got the PICS, and here you have the logos. Looks like it goes to 2021, it says, maybe. So anyway, if you hit the link for the PICS, now these are most of these are going to be baseball cards, if they are baseball cards. So you can see they have it divvied up into 5-year chunks. So again, we needed 92, so we need 90 to 94. Okay, so you can see we got that. And then so I need 92. Now you'll see it says batters, pitchers, and alias. So that's important because the batters are in one folder, the pitchers are in another folder, and then the alias is, again, highly unintuitive and outdated, but it tells the computer which pictures to use for which season. And again, it's easier just to show it to you, but just be aware that that alias is important. So you can see here, you can go to download. then you should wait for your, if you got Windows Explorer, which I do, it should pop up that it's downloading. Let's see. Again, not an expert. So here you see it downloads. Okay, so there it is. So let's open that up. So I have, so you can see this is in my download files. I've got, like, on my desktop, my sports sim. So I put everything in this, and then every game has its own folder. And so I just put everything in these. So for Stratomatic Baseball, you can see, oh, that's Status Pro. Stratomatic Baseball, I got PICS. So you can see I've got, so once I download them, I just take them from the download folder and put them in this folder for the PICS. And it'll say I've already got one, but we'll replace it. If you have very many sims at all, I would recommend doing this strongly, organizing, because I didn't for a while. So basically what you can see here is I got a folder called Sports Sims, and then again, every game I have, I actually have like one specifically for ballparks, because I've kind of learned how to use ballparks between different sims. Like I can take Action PC and put them, which is another good resource from the second video if you've got Action PC. But anyway, so you can see I've just got everything here. I got some pictures. So I got a couple generic. Ronbo. That's an interesting thing. We'll that's score sheets with the actual lineups in them. But anyway, that's a different topic. So anyway, we've downloaded it. I've moved it over to my Stratomatic Baseball, PICS. Blow that up. So again, we need 92. So you unzip it. I don't typically unzip it. I just hit open with Windows Explorer, and that typically works for me. So you can see we've got it divvied up into batters, pitchers, and alias. So now what you need to do is get it from this file into your game. And where that's at, let me minimize this. So this, again, this is on my desktop is where I have my sports sim folders. So the folder that you want to put these in is C, Stratomatic Baseball, and then you remember the ballparks go in data, the pictures go in player. So you open up player, and then you'll see you've got batters, logos if you're interested in that. And again, I don't mess with logos because the only place you can see them is in the opening screen at the bottom lower right hand corner. You can't make it any bigger, so to me it's just not worth the effort. And then pictures. So what I'll do is open that up. And so there's our batters. And again, it'll move on you, or at least it does on me. So I got to scroll back down to where I want it. So I go to select all. And then, so these are the batters. So I'm going to copy them. Select all. I'm going to copy them, which is right click, over to batters. And then hit copy. Now, again, if you have very many of these, there's going to be some duplicates. So usually what I do, because I make changes to some of them because they're the wrong team and I'll change them to the right team, I don't have them change any. So you can see we've got 22 files with the same name. So I don't I skip those files because, again, if I've changed them to a particular, to something different, I don't want this to overwrite that. So if I have any duplicates, I skip them. Okay, so you can see the ones that we already had in there. So then you go back up to your pictures and do the same thing. Again, I go over to Home, select all, scroll back down to the Stratomatic folder. Again, Stratomatic Baseball on your C drive, and that's the default. That's where it goes automatically. So if you put it someplace special, you'll have to find it. But you can see there's our picture logo, our picture folder, I mean. So we copy there. Okay, so again, I'm going to skip these just in case I've made changes. And it's possible that I didn't make changes, that sometimes they don't have a baseball card for a special year, so they'll use the year before. But again, these are all baseball cards. Here, again, if they have 1930, you're going to get a hodgepodge of things because obviously baseball cards weren't a thing in 1930. Now, the third thing you need to do, so we've got our batters and our pitchers, is this alias. Now, so I'm going to open that, and this is a Word document. So I go to File, Edit, there it is, Select All, and then I copy it. Now you have to find the alias file, the main alias file. So this is the one they created for just this season. So I'm going to minimize that, go back to my Stratomatic Baseball player folder, and then you'll see there's the alias. So that, you got your batters, pitchers, logos if you're interested in that, but the alias, so that's the master alias. So we've got to get what I just copied into this. So I open it up, and you can see here all the other years I've done, which is quite a few, but I go all the way down to the bottom. Enter. I tell you what, let's close this because sometimes it can act kind of goofy if you got it open while you're doing this stuff. So let's just close all this just to make sure. All right, so you scroll down to the bottom, and then you right-click, hit paste, which we just copied from the 92, and you can see they're all there. Make sure you file and save it. Make sure I hit that right. Okay, and then close that out. Now we should be good to go. So let's bring back up our program here. All right, so let's go to 92 and see if we got any pictures. So American League, look at Baltimore, and there you can see down in the lower right-hand corner, we've got our picture. So it's as easy as that. So again, I've downloaded every one from that site. So again, I've just went through all of them because again, I had read somewhere where he had, he was looking to put them somewhere else. But again, that's ML player picks, and so you see you got 87, actually through 2024. So even though it's dated 2016, you can see it goes all the way up to 2024. So that's cool. You even got Negro League stars. You got the hero sets and the Hall of Fame sets here as well. I don't have any of those. I do have the Negro stars. The 2001, I don't know why they call it 2001, but that's the All-Star Negro League set, which is a very cool set, but you got pictures for that. But again, enemies, the heroes, the Hall of Fame set. So pretty much anything that they've got, you can find here. And so that's where I get mine. So now let me show you how say I'm playing a game and I want to change a picture. Let's see if I can figure out how I want to do this. Okay, let's play a scrimmage game with these guys here. Let's go to scrimmage 92. Do the American League, and we'll just do Baltimore and Boston. 92. Now this I can do while the game is playing. I don't have to close it down. So if I'm playing a game and I see a picture that I don't like, let's get rid of the sound here. So no noise, nothing else. Okay, so you can see there they are. So that was as easy as that. You can see you got Brady Anderson there, Roger Clemens. So let's say, for example, they got Roger Clemens in an Oriole or a Blue Jay uniform. What year is we do? 92. I guess he was still with them. I guess that's close to when he was going to Baltimore. But at any rate, let's say that I want to find a different picture. So now one place, again, these pictures are all mostly baseball cards. So if you like the baseball cards, this is where you want to get your pictures. And again, as you saw, everything was there. But let's say I want to find it different. If you go to the trading card database, which is www.tcdb, trading card database, these are pictures of baseball cards. So let's say we need a Roger Clemens. So type him in. Now this one has got full of ads and it's slow. So you hit search. I don't know if I spelled his name right or not. I don't think I did. Let's try this again. Let me find out. It's Clemens. Okay. Let's try that again. Roger Clemens. That should be it. All right, so there you hit the overview, and then it'll give you, once it gets up, I said the ad, slow it down. It'll give you all the years he has a baseball card. So let's see what his 96 looks like. So these are all the cards that he had in 96. I prefer Topps myself. But he had a lot of cards in 96. Fleer. All right, let's say you like this card here. So click on it. He said this won't mess me up too much, so I'll just keep him in a Boston uniform. Again, it can be this side is kind of slow, but it's worth the wait. So you right click on it, hit save image as. And then the pictures, as you recall, are in C, Stratomatic baseball player. Now he's a pitcher, so he'll be in pictures. And then I scroll down to Roger Clemens. Now the thing is, you have to find the card that the game is using. So you could go to the alias and change it, but digging through that I find is harder than I want to mess with. So Roger Clemens. So if you right click on it, let's see, we're in 80, we're 92. So if you right click on it and hit open, it'll show you what picture that is. It'll show you what picture that was, and so I believe that is the one that they are using. Yep. So again, so that's the one they're using. So this is what I do. You probably could figure out an easier way to do this. So I changed the name of this because again, that's what the alias that is looking for the picture for this particular year. So I rename it and tag a 2 on it, so I know that that's what that is. If I want to go back to it later, hit enter, and then I save the new picture as it'll automatically fill out what you renamed. So I save him as Roger Clemens 1992 _ tops.jpg. So I save it. You have to wait for it to show that it's done. And then if you go to the box score and back, you got the new ball card. So that's how I do it. Again, that if I do much of that, it's probably messing up my alias pretty bad. So you could go in alias. Let's say I save that as 1993. Go into the alias and change it. You could do that. So let me show you. So this is that was the one we downloaded. So let's go to the main alias and we'll look at that for a little bit. So again, this alias is your main one. Here, I'll go back. We'll find it. That's on my recent file. So again, C, Stratomatic Baseball, player, and then aliases. So we know I just put him at the bottom. So inside the season, the teams are in alphabetical order. So we can, this is 92, scroll up to where you find Boston. Boston, BOA, Clemens, and then the names are in alphabetical order. So there you can see they're looking for the 90. Oh, that's 95. I thought I had 92. There we go. I went too far up. So again, this is the player, and then this is, here, let me show. So again, P for pitcher, the name of the player, the year that they're using, the team they're on. That's what they're looking for, and then past this comma is what they're looking for, the file name. So again, a little confusing, not very intuitive, but once you mess around with it, you can figure it out. But anyway, let's find Clemens. 92, Roger Clemens. So there it is. So again, you can see that he's with Boston, and then they're looking for that. So by changing the 92 to 2, then that's no longer what they're looking for. Saving that new picture as the 92 tops, that is what they're looking for, and that's why it changed. I could have saved that as a different name, went into my alias and changed it here to match that, and then that wouldn't have messed up my alias. But again, that's how I've been doing it, and it works. So, I guess what I could do is go in here and write on a piece of paper how these are ordered. But I mean, I've got, a lot of seasons, so trying to find the right year can be a pain. But I guess if I went in and, said I got 2018 first, and then I've got a lot of 2018. Then I got 1983. So if I wrote those on a pad, a paper somewhere, it might be easier for me to find them and make the changes. And probably long term, that would be the best. But so those are the two ways you can do it. You can go in and, figure out which one they're using and rename it to 2 so you can save it and then save the new picture as what they're looking for. Or you can save it as what it is, go into alias, and then, save it or change the name to find the picture. And then just remember when you save things that any space needs to be underscored. So just remember that. So that's how you get the pictures, and then that's how you save it. So I think I'd like to put him back to what I had. So let's open up our alias. So actually, I guess there's 2 ways to do this, but actually the easiest way would be go back to my picture file. And again, this is the master one. Look for Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens, and then delete the 92 I did, and then rename this one back to what? Back to normal. So that should, so again, you can go to the box score and come back, and then now we're back. That way his card matches the right year. So that's how you can do it. So again, you don't have to close the program to do the baseball cards. You just have to, hit the box score and then go back to the game, and then it should update any changes that you've made. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that that explained it. Again, not intuitive at all, and it takes a lot of effort to try to figure out how to do it. I will say that now that I know how to do it and I've done it enough, I can pretty much just do it without thinking about it much. And so, I'm changing, as you saw in my 1969 APA replay. I'm changing cards all the time because, they'll have them on the wrong team, or especially 69, their baseball cards were pretty crappy. The Houston Astros wouldn't let them use their logo. And so, I like the player card to be in the logo, so I'll, change it to the 1970 card, which is based off the 69 season anyway. So, again, if you want to stay true to it, I guess you could keep the 69 card, even though the logo on their hat's blacked out. But at any rate, you can make changes on the fly and basically do anything you want. So, especially if you like the baseball cards, go to Stratomatic. And like I said, I'll put the link in the description. I'll try to put the link to that trading card database. I think that's what it was called. Trading card database. Again, because they've got hundreds and thousands of ball cards, baseball cards that you can make adjustments and find, alternative options. And so, definitely a good resource. Baseballreference.com. You can find pictures there. No, they're not baseball cards, but they're pictures. So especially if you're, pre-50s, quite often that'll work. Another thing I do is Google pictures. And the ratio generally, now again, you can change the ratio here as I've showed you in the first video, but typically 2 to 1 is the ratio I look for. And so when you're looking for a picture, you can do 2 to 1. I have a photo editor, which I think I've shared in the last video, that I will use to crop pictures sometimes and resize them. So if you've got, I think you can do that with paint. And so that would be, again, another option to Google the player. And sometimes you can find really good pictures that way. And then some with those you have to doctor them up because, again, they're not generally the right ratio. You have to crop them. So at any rate, that's how I wear and how I get my baseball cards. And so as usual, if you have any questions, if that wasn't clear, feel free to ask, and I'll do what I can to help. If you're not real computer savvy, this can be a challenge because, again, it's not laid out well at all. Again, showing you how to do it on Digital Diamond would be much easier because they make it much simpler. But again, a lot of us have a lot of money in Stratomatic, and we want to dude it up to as nice as we can. So as you can see, that's a pretty good looking screen there. At least I think it is. I wish I could make some changes, like changing the actual Strat card size, but unfortunately you're stuck with that size. So we have to make do with what we have. So anyway, if there's something I missed, a place that you can find pictures that you think are good, feel free to chime in. I do know, lastly, that the picture with the ballparks I showed you, Brian, I think was his name. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, Brian Stratomatic. There's pictures there. I've never used his pictures. But anyway, you might be able to find some there. Yeah, so you can, so there he's got like 2004 through 18. I don't think those are ball cards. And he's got a few older seasons there, but obviously the Stratomatic has got everything. So that would be my recommendation, especially if you like the baseball cards. So anyway, that's enough for today. And I appreciate it very much, and I'll see you next time.